So, semi-professional mixed martial arts over 2 4-minute rounds. Nicky Owens from TSG Fight School here in Southend-on-Sea. 3 wins and 2 losses against Scott Holbury from the Combat Sports Academy in Kent with 1 loss on his record. And Pierre, so we have 2 young men still learning their trade. Only 6 fights between them, and a perfect way to do it in semi-professional mixed martial arts.
I love the format. I think it's a way to get your ring craft, or in this case, cage craft. You know, being able to handle the outside elements, like, you know, the crowd, the mental aspects of the game. And again, I'm a real big fan of amateur and semi-pro, because sometimes you get the guys that really want it.
That's right, and Holbury really needs it, coming off a loss on his debut. And Nicky Owens, as we said, 3 wins from his 5 fights. So the experience is with the local fighter.
Yeah, and I've seen Nicky before. He's very good off of his back. Ooh, big double leg slam there by the Combat Academy representative, Scott Holbury.
And you said he's good off his back. He's going to need to be after that slam. And one of the things we've seen previously is when someone slams you, often they lose control. But I thought Scott did very well there.
Well, what he did is he made sure that there was no space from the slam. He carried himself with Nicky Owens down to the mat, and look at the transition. He goes to one side, he gets blocked, and then he switches over to side mount on the other side. Now you'll notice the Scott Holbury, the man on top in side mount position. Some of the head coaches there that train him is Lee Johnston, Tiago Monster, and it looks like he could possibly have Nicky Owens in a little bit of trouble. He advances to mount. And I can't see from this vantage point looking, oh, Nicky Owens rolled into an arm bar. Scott Holbury needs to extend that arm out.
Yes, real problems here for Nicky Owens. As we were talking there, Holbury got that arm, and he's in real trouble here, as you can see, and as you were saying. Obviously from the training of the Monstro Tiago Borges, very well-known BJJ exponent. And Owens in a lot of trouble here, Pierre.
Well, he is, but he's doing the right things. Daniel Brizotto would have taught him, you know, to stack, which he's doing very well, putting a lot of pressure on Scott Holbury. Big slam there, but immediately, I don't know if you saw the transition there, Owens slam, Holbury immediately looked to go into a knee bar. Beautiful, beautiful move there by Scott Holbury, and very well defended by Nick Owens. Holbury going for a triangle choke, and look at the setup, beautiful. This is the 3rd submission attempt here by one Scott Holbury, and if you keep going to the well percentage-wise, you're going to catch something sooner or later, and Nicky Owens in a bad way here. Step over, trying to push out of that triangle choke.
Well, it all came from that huge slam. And the one thing I worry about Holbury is he can't be too anxious, can he? He's had the first loss. He's desperate for the win, but that can't be turned into anxiety.
No, because as you know, an anxious fighter is a fighter that loses positioning. Oh, look, knee bar there, attempt from Nicky Owens. However, Scott Holbury immediately kicking out, trying to push, and he taps.
Now, this is what I was saying, Pierre. Holbury had all the early advantage, 3 submission attempts, didn't get them on. Owens had the one opportunity, took it. Such a cruel, cruel game.
Well, I will say one thing that impressed me very much about both fighters. Very young in their careers, but I tell you what, look like seasoned veterans already. Scott Holbury, no slouch in the submission department. Again, 3 to 4 attempts. However, Nicky Owens keeping his cool and ending up with a knee bar.
Great opening to UWC21.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes 41 seconds of the first round, we have a winner due to tap out to a knee bar, Nicky Owens. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to your runner-up, Scott Holbury.
So this is K1 rules over 3 3-minute rounds. Chris Matthews, TSG Thai Boxing, Southend-on-Sea, making his debut here against Scott Rogan from Saw, Newcastle. 4-1, but that is his mixed martial arts record. This is also his K1 debut, because Pierre, we saw Rogan in an absolute war last time out.
Yeah, he fought Muhammad Ali in what was, we thought, a one-sided affair, but then out of nowhere, Muhammad Ali came out of nowhere to win by submission, which was heartbreaking for Scott Rogan.
But what we did see for Rogan was very fast hands, and from what I hear, he's going to need them against Matthews, a former boxer.
Yeah, and sometimes it could be, ooh, big left hook straight right down the pipe. Body shot there, inside leg kick by Matthews. Now, Matthews, to be an ex-boxer, really looks like he's taken a shine to the Thai boxing way of fighting, as in he's throwing nothing but leg shots. Big shots there.
That's right, Pierre, because the first thing you learn as a boxer going into our game is the difference in footwork and distancing. It's a whole new range.
I find that with Thai boxing is a lot more of a plodding kind of technique, whereas boxing, light on the feet, cutting the angles, a lot more movement.
And of course, he's got to sort out different ranges, because one of the things that really did impress me last time out from Rogan is what we're seeing here. Very good boxing technique against the former light heavyweight boxer.
Matthews covering up, Rogan throwing shots to both head and body. Leg kick again now. Rogan shying away from the leg kicks. Is that a telltale sign that he may be hurt? He's switched from orthodox to unorthodox, and now he's skipping away from the shots.
Well, again, perfect technique there from Matthews, because he's chopping away at that lead leg of Rogan, and Rogan checked that time, which is what you must do, but he's taking the inside of the thigh and then the outside on the calf. That then sets up the hands.
Matthews looks to be taking over here in the second half of the first round, and I tell you what, Scott Rogan looking very good with the heavy shots and down on the floor off of a leg kick.
Well, perfect timing. We talked about the change and the transition needed. Matthews has made that change. The timing there was superb.
Now you have to always be careful, because with Rogan, look at those overhand shots. One of those lands on the button and it's good night.
But Matthews in and out, doing everything right here. That shovel hook, well, that shovel uppercut from Rogan just missed the target. And I do notice that when Matthew comes in, he tucks up tight and then throws the leg kick. Now his own right hand comes in. Well, Rogan was an exciting fight last time. He's in a very exciting fight again this time, Pierre.
Now
Rogan, you get the feeling that possibly the result might be the same.
Yeah. Rogan is limping bad on that left leg, and I tell you what, Matthews has chopped him down here in the first. If it goes into the second, Rogan's going to have to do something to really, really combat the low leg kicks of Chris Matthews.
Well, there was a wry smile there from Matthews, because he missed with one of those low kicks. But you see, what he's done is he's taken the legs, he's taken the mobility of Rogan, then he can use his own boxing, which he's already got in the tank. If you look at, that's something he's got in the bank.
Look at the shin, the left shin of Scott Rogan. That may be broke. I'm not sure. I can see the swelling from here.
It was an instant reaction, so I'll go with you, Pierre. Whatever it is, it's serious, because the moment that low kick came in, as you said, you saw Rogan's reaction. A sensible fighter knows when it's serious and when it's not, and this is a man with heart. So when you see him do like that, Matthews has taken that leg and taking it in a serious way. Yes, we can see from our position here, the hematoma's already starting to come up. Rogan made the decision, and I think it was a very good decision, because Matthews targeted that lead leg and targeted it supremely well. Very good future for this young man.
Definitely great game plan there by Chris Matthews out of TSG Thai Boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes 50 seconds of the first round, we have the winner due to verbal submission, Chris Matthews. And a big hand to your up, Scott Rogan. Ladies and gentlemen, the next bout is a middleweight professional bout. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first fighter to the ring. He weighed in at 84 kilograms. He has a professional record of 13 wins and 13 losses. representing Team Scorpion from France, Eric Marty. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome his opponent. He weighed in at 83.9 kilograms. He has a professional record of 22 wins, 12 losses and 1 draw. Representing Trojan Free Fighters from Gloucester, Matt Ewan!
So professional mixed martial arts over 3 5-minute rounds. Matt Ewan, 22 wins, 12 losses, 1 draw. Trojan Free Fighters against the Frenchman Luc Marty, 13 wins and 13 losses from Team Scorpion in France. And Pierre Matt Ewan, a real MMA pioneer in this country. But you just have a few concerns, don't you?
Yeah, being an MMA pioneer here in the UK means you've been around a while. If you've been around a while, you've fought a lot, and that's wear and tear on the body. His last 3 losses, 2 of those have been due to an injury. Nothing that his opponent has done, just wear and tear, like I said. So it'll be interesting to see how his recuperative powers are.
Well, you wouldn't know for the injuries because he always comes in such incredible shape, even in the later years of his career.
Lead left hook there by Matt Ewan. Now, big, now that is what it's all about right there. Huge shot by Luc Marty. However, Matt Ewan changing levels, takes him down. Now the Frenchman showing that he knows his way around the ground, pushing on the hips, getting into that the half guard.
Yes, and the Frenchman Marty, right behind us, has brought a travelling crowd with him, and he looked a confident young man as he came in. And as you said, straight down the middle, Pierre, 13 wins, 13 losses. And Matt will have done his homework. Those losses mainly come by submission, haven't they?
Yeah, and Matt's a smart fighter. He's a thinking man's fighter. He's not going to trade. He's not going to fight you where you're the strongest. He's going to take you down and try to exploit your weakness. And I believe that's what he's trying to do here. Nice short little shots. Matt Ewan staying active. Grinding that elbow. Looking to peel off the half guard. And he's passed. Shifts the hips. Heavy pressure from that top side mount position.
Yes, and he's testing Marty where we do feel he may be at his weakest here. That's where his losses have come from.
Now the Frenchman is going to have to, very beautiful, once again, pushing up on the hips, regaining that half guard where he has more control. But what he needs to do is he needs to get some space, get into that full guard, or get back to his feet, because I believe that's where the Frenchman is going to be the most effective.
That's right, but having said that, when they were on their feet, Matt looked very sharp in the way, slipped under those two punches, took his man to ground.
And he'll be looking to do that, but what Luke has to do is he's got to readjust his striking. Don't overcommit on the shots, which is what I think set up that takedown by Matt Ewan. He's got to keep it nice and crisp, keep it at range, and force him to change his levels, come up and under for a possible knee, power, right hand, etc.
Now looking to free up the spaces, Matt Ewing. He's already landed one elbow, and we've seen just how an effective a weapon the elbow has been tonight. Devastating weapon in previous fights.
Yes, we had the BKK fighter, Arnold stopping the Norwegian with elbows. And then we just had, what was it, the last fight?
Wendell Lewis.
Yes, Wendell Lewis stopping Mamba with the elbows. So they're very, and the thing about the elbows, you can throw them from such a short distance, and it does a lot of damage.
As you see Matt Ewing there before he postures up for more traditional ground and pound. And the Frenchman is in problems here already. That is not the way to defend yourself. He is out and it is over. Matt Ewing is back. And there's the pioneer, there's the sportsman checking that his opponent's all right before he even starts to celebrate. But that was vintage Matt Ewing.
And guys, if you want to know more about Matt Ewing, check out the fight, this fight I put in the top 10 for UK MMA. His fight in May of 2004, I believe, against a Gregory Bouchelem, another Frenchman, an all-out war.
Well, it wasn't war this time. It was a very, very dominant Matt Ewing. Set out his stall, Pierre, and very clinical finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes, 3 seconds of the first round, we have a winner due to referee stoppage to ground and pound, Matt Ewing. And a big hand to your up, Luke Marty. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. He weighed in at 77.5 kilograms. He has a professional record of 22 wins and 14 losses. Representing Team Manu from Spain, Manuel Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome his opponent to the cage. He weighed in at 77 kilograms. He has an unbeaten professional record of 9 wins and no losses. Representing TSG Fight School from Southend-on-Sea, Walter Gahadza.
Once again, pro MMA over 3 5-minute rounds of action. Walter Gahadze from the TSG Fight School here at Southend-on-Sea. 9 fights, 9 wins against Manuel Garcia. 22 wins, 14 losses from Team Manu and Total Grappling in Spain. And Pierre, Walter Gahadze 9-0, and rightly so. A phenomenal young athlete, really making waves here now in professional MMA.
He's a promoter's dream. I mean, he has it all. He's marketable. He's very well spoken, and also the boy can just flat out fight.
Well, last time out, we said it would be his biggest test ever, and it would be nice to see someone take him all the way. That's what happened, but he really rose to the occasion, didn't he?
Well, he had a lot of doubters out there that didn't believe that he could make it all 3 rounds. He made it all 3 rounds, and he looked effective and aggressive in doing so.
Now, in Manuel Garcia from Spain, the name gives you a bit of a clue there, a very durable, old-school fighter, Pierre.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of the old guard versus the new guard. But the old guard, I tell you what, and this is what his game plan is. He's already showed his cards. He wants it on the ground because Gahadze on the feet is explosive, and he loves to cut you up with those elbows.
And you said that because just before that, both men smiled at each other because they knew what you were saying. Gahadze knew what Manuel Garcia wanted. Garcia knew that he knew, and they both laughed. Real professionalism there to show that despite everything else, these are still sportsmen.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. Do not take Manuel out of this. I mean, he's got 22 wins, and he didn't, wow, and he just got rocked by Gahadze. He falls back to possible guard. Gahadze keeping the elbow in, trying to make the space. Looking to pass that leg possibly into that side mount position, or he may just stand right back up out of it. Very good game plan, I feel.
Picking up what you were saying before, Pierre, what you're saying there is he's got virtually 4 times the experience of young Walter Gahadze.
And he's going to need every bit of that. And another knee. This is the second knee that's actually hit flush. Manuel's got a chin on him. But I think, and again, third, the knees coming straight through the middle. Uppercut, body shots. Here we go. Gahadze's on a roll.
Oh, that one came right through, and this time Garcia knew it as well. It's all over. He defended the others, but the positioning of Gahadze, the movement to get that knee finally flush through the channel, the one that absolutely totally clean, was the one that's left Garcia as you see him there. This young man is now into double figures of straight wins, Pierre.
Well, he is the champion here at 77 kilograms for UWC. With that comes a big responsibility because now he has a target on his back for all the other people that want to knock him off the throne.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 59 seconds of the first round, we have a winner due to tap out to strikes, Walter Gahadze. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to your runner-up, Manuel Garcia.